Bueno, bienvenidos a todos a Tiempo Fuera. Hoy estamos con Parker Jackson-Cartwright. Parker, how are you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. I'm glad to be here.
Well, the first thing that we usually ask to kind of, give it like a temporary line kind of vibe, is who or what introduced you to the world of basketball?
Well, really, my father and my brother. I'm the youngest of three. I have an older brother and older sister, and I just fell in love with it by watching my brother. We're very close in age, so I wanted to do everything he wanted to do at that age, and um, it was the only sport I really loved growing up. And as I got older, I became just a true fan of the game, and I started really young. And I have my family to thank for that.
At what age did you start?
Started playing at six, around six. Um, and I was kind of playing with the older kids at that time because I was playing a few years up with my brother, which was I mean, he's 3 years older. So if I was six, he was nine. I was playing with those kids, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was small. I was really small. So that's kind of how I got thrown into it.
Yeah, and when you are a kid, you look at kids that are like just 2 years above you, and they seem like they are like almost 10.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was at that time, it was like a little frightening, but you know, it worked out. It was really good for me to be in that environment at that age.
Well, and it turned out really good because, as we all know, you and me, obviously, you went to Arizona, played there in the
Mhm.
NCAA. How was that too? I imagine that a lot of the youngsters around the world, including ourselves, me and Luca, my co-host, one of our dreams was to play in the NCAA, and you were able to accomplish that, but not only on any team. You played in the Arizona. That's a really good team. How was that?
Yeah, it was a great experience. I mean, to be able to play on that stage just for one is amazing because of the history Arizona
Yeah,
has, going back in years, decades. Winning a national championship. So I knew what I was, getting myself into. And then, every night you're playing in front of 15,000 people. You're playing alongside really good players. I was fortunate enough to make the tournament every season I was there. So it was just truly a great basketball experience from all aspects. And looking back on it, it was really incredible. I'm really fortunate to have been a part of it.
well, and then you went, and if I'm correct, you played a couple of games at the G League and in the Westchester
Mhm.
Knicks, the affiliate team of the New York Knicks. Also, we we have talked to a lot of G League players, and something really interesting is that although it's one league, their experiences are extremely like different. How was yours?
Yeah, well, that's very true. Every experience, every player is in a different position in the G League. Um, when I got there, it was kind of like show us what you can do because I was coming off an injury. Um, I hadn't really played until then that point, so didn't have the confidence to go out in a good league because G League is
Yeah,
great
yeah.
talent. It's one of the best leagues in the world. So it was difficult for me. I didn't play a lot. I didn't really get enough time to get my feet up, whilst dealing with an injury and trying to get my flow back. So, but again, it was experience that because it is high level and you're playing with good players. So I learned a lot from that experience. I was there only a month, in New York, which was cold, but Yeah, all in all, I mean, I learned a lot just in my short time from being there.
Eh, Perfect. And well, then, as I know you went to the UK, what did
Mhm.
you what was your thought process on well, I'm going to go overseas to play basketball, and especially I believe the UK, or I can imagine one of the reasons that you chose the UK is mainly because of the language, I can imagine. What did you
Well,
sorry.
go ahead.
uh,
No, no, go.
uh, what what made you take the decision to go overseas?
Well, yeah, I mean, at that point, I just was focused on playing basketball, trying to build my career. Um, and it just happened to be my first stop really was in England. And like you said, I wasn't picking to make sure it would, be the right fit. It just kind of came, and it was a great thing for me because I got to showcase my ability, and the lifestyle was great. European experience, really living on my own. I've had some European, experience vacationing and traveling, but not living abroad on my own. So it was new, and I really enjoyed it. And for basketball wise, it was right up my element. Um, it was the start I needed to build my career, and it worked out.
Well, and since you've been in Europe, you've been absolutely killing it. That year, you averaged 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 7.4 assists. The next year, you went to France, you averaged 15.6 points, 3.3 rebounds, and 7 assists as well. Then you went to Telcom, that
Mm.
we have interviewed. I believe you were teammates with Michael Kessens. We also talked to him. You
Right.
averaged 19 points, three almost really consistent numbers, and now you're currently in as well, the team that's considered the best team in France. Right now
Mhm.
it's a bit tough, but you have guys like Nando El Colo, that's a basketball legend. How are you living this experience in as well?
Just adapting. I think every year is very different from the others. Um, I've been really fortunate to be in three, now four great situations. Um, and some years it comes easy than others, but it's never easy as a
Yeah.
whole. I can go back to my second season when I was in France, and the beginning of that season was very difficult. Um, I just think just staying with it and adapting. You're adjusting to new players, new coaches, a new system. So I just think myself just being able to kind of adjust and adapt and kind of learn on the fly has really been a strong suit of mine. And knowing there's ebbs and flows and everything, and you just have to keep going. I think that's just been who I've always been, and I hang my hat on that.
Great. Well, and also keeping it in as well, we know you're playing in the top, you can say, competition in Europe, that is the Euro League, and the French League. How do you expect this season to go?
Well, I mean, it's early, and I think team wise, we've shown glimpses that we can be really good, um, and that just comes with game after game reps in practice, watching film. Um, so as far as the team goes, I expect us to really be at the level we expect for ourselves, which is near the top and competing for championships and trying to compete for top 8 in the Euro League, which everybody wants to do.
Yeah.
Um, but individually, I just think just trying to fit in as best as I can and um, kind of unite the way I like to play with, you know, how this team wants to play and how we're supposed to play. And I think that's just always the challenge every year. And I feel like I can get to the level I am and who I am just in a different way. And that's just going to be how it's going to be.
Great. And also one thing that we're really curious about, because the players also, some they have completely different stories. Hey, what is the reason you were your number? I believe in this case 33.
The number, why we're 30?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I mean, that was one of the first numbers I really wore in basketball, 33, when I was 6. So I think, I didn't wear it in high school, I didn't wear it in college, I didn't wear it until my second season in France. And then, I'm kind of a superstitious guy, I would like to think. So I wore it in France, and then I went to Germany, I wore it again, and I feel like I'm just gonna ride that wave and wear it on my back, represent it.
Absolutely. And also you were talking a little bit about superstition. And the first thing that comes to mind, is a pre-game routine. Do you have something like you always do before a game?
Mm, I think I don't think I'm a pre-game superstition kind of person. I mean, obviously I take a nap. That's kind of mandatory. But as far as anything else goes, I kind of let myself do what it needs to do, kind of let my mind and my body just kind of take its own place and kind of be still in that and calm my mind, I would say. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. And well, another thing that we like to ask is just to see the kind of stories that they have also is what is the toughest player you ever play against?
Mm, that's tough, man. In ever or Europe or
In your whole career?
whole career?
You can say a couple of names if you want.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, in college, I was a freshman. I remember K. Felder was really tough. Lefty, small guard. Small guards are hard to guard, and he's really strong. And I was freshman. He completely took advantage of that. So I would say he was tough. Mm, I played against Tyler Eulis, who's another small guard. Um, he ended up going to Kentucky, but I played him in high school on AAU club circuit, and he was one of the tougher guards I had to face. Hmm. Those are the only two I can really think of that was really tough. So it's
Perfect.
hard. That question is always hard because it's like you probably have it in your head, but you played so many games, played with so many
Yeah,
players, man.
yeah,
But I'm sure there's definitely a ton.
yeah. We're really into Kobe stories, so that's the reason why we asked this.
Yeah, I can understand.
Not
I can
like
understand.
specifically Kobe, but the kind of stories that they always, especially it's really. I find it funny because I forgot the name. Iman Shumpert.
Mhm.
He always does.
Yeah, yeah,
You always see him telling Kobe stories, and I find it extremely funny. I don't know. It's weird.
yeah. No, he's a great story. So.
Well, and also another thing that we like to ask, do you have like an idol or a player that you watch a lot of their game to, take some moves or some tips?
Yeah, for sure. Growing up, I mean, I was a big Steve Nash fan. I mean, to this day, Steve Nash is my biggest basketball idol. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, growing up, those guys I really loved watching. But I mean, James Harden, I watch him a lot. He's one of my favorite NBA players. Just like how he utilizes creating space and, getting a shot off. Because it's like, he has an array of moves, step backs, side steps. And it's just, I feel like I'm not a guy that works on a certain move, but if I watch it, and then I try it, and that's how it goes. So I watch a lot of him, Dame Lillard, just a few players that I really like watching. So I would say those two now I really try to take a little bit from.
Perfect. And well, moving on to the second section, there are three sections, but these next two are much, much shorter. This second section is one in which the previous player we interviewed, in this case, is Ivan Buba. He's a Croatian player that plays in Japan. He left a question for you. And hopefully, if you can leave a question for our next guest, that will be great. And the question that he left to you is, who are your top 5 players of all time?
Top 5. Okay. Personally, this is just for me.
Absolutely. It's personal.
Okay. Yeah. Nash. No, in no order. Steve Nash, LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, and Kobe.
That's a great top 5. Steve Nash is a bit, old, but it's your top 5, so we'll allow it.
Yeah, I can't not have him in my 5. He's just my favorite.
Yeah, he was just fire, on the Nets.
Oh, he was great, man. Great player.
No, but I was saying that he got fired from the coaching stuff.
Oh, from the net. Yeah, well, it's tough, and the Nets are having a tough time. So, but he knows a lot about basketball, and he's a great basketball mind.
He was great at throwing free throws, that's for sure.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
Sure. Well, and do you have like a question you want to leave for our next guest? If you want, we can give you time.
A question for the next guest? Like, okay, let's see. I would say, what motivates you to keep going every day?
Great question.
That was
perfect. And moving on to the last section, this is called a flash question section. It's one in which we ask a series of questions that are fast. It's almost like rapid fire, and they have nothing to do with basketball. Okay. So it's a bit interesting.
Okay.
And whenever you're ready, we go.
Great. I'm ready.
Favorite movie?
Oh, goodness. Like Mike.
Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show? Martin.
Not including basketball. What sport do you watch or play the most?
Jeez. I'll restructure the question. What other sport do I like the most? Because I don't play any other sports really outside.
Or watch if you.
Or watch. Oh, baseball.
Perfect. Teammate you spend the most time with?
Jonah Matthews.
Favorite food?
Food, pasta.
Favorite video game.
Say it again.
Favorite video game.
Video game. Video game. NBA Live. Oh, maybe 10. Maybe 10. NBA Live 10 or 11, way back.
That's really interesting. You know, we never had NBA Live. Always 2K or other games, but
Yeah, I'm not a big 2K fan. I just
hot,
love NBA Live because my brother and I used to play each other in that. So
yeah, absolutely. It's all answers are right answers.
yeah, for sure.
Hot or cold?
Oh, that's a really cold. No. Hot for sure.
One dream left to accomplish that has nothing to do with basketball.
One dream, probably creating something of my own, whether it's like fashion or music, something creative. I would say it's a big dream.
Favorite artist or musician?
Artist and musician, favorite. Jay-Z is my favorite musician of all time. Drake is my favorite artist right now, hands down. Yeah.
Perfect. And finally, favorite basketball shoes?
Gilbert Arenas.
Interesting choice. We never got Gilbert Arenas before too.
That's what I'm rocking right now. So I mean, it's a great shoe. I like it.
That's okay. As I said before, there's no wrong answers.
Right.
Finally, well, I wanted to thank you for taking the time to be here. You know, we really appreciate you, and you know, we keep in touch to tell you the status of the interview and everything.
Okay, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
And you know, best of luck this season. I wish you all the best, and you know, you have to win the EuroLeague.
Yeah. I mean, that would be great. We're definitely gonna work hard, man. For sure.
Well, thanks again. You know, we'll keep in touch.
All right. Thank you.